Visible now. All right. What's up, everybody? Took a little rest in all honesty. That freaking Fight Companion took a lot out of me. So we'll get right into the live recap. I just forgot that next week, or not next week, the week after, we have Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak at like 12 in the morning. So that'll be fun to watch, bro. It's going to be so late. But we'll get right into the live recap. Thank you to everybody that came in during the Fight Companion. You guys are awesome, but I'm trying to get all this stuff done. So let's get straight in to... Hold on 1 second. Actually, I apologize. Let me get actually into the live recap. See if I can... Okay, so we're good here. Make sure my overlay is working because I have to reset it every time I start. But yeah, let's get right into the live recap. I am talking. My mic is working, so let's get right into it. First fight on the card. We had... I guess this isn't a good way to be doing this. All right, we're going to go Tapology. First fight on the card, we have Daniel Marcos versus Simon Oliveira. Daniel Marcos does defeat Simon Oliveira by KO/TKO at round 2 in the fight, and like 2 minutes in. Round 2. What am I even saying? Daniel Marcos wins basically from what I kind of got from it. Body kick sent Oliveira down, and he was able to finish it. What's up, Tehran? What did you think of the card? Pretty crazy. I was not expecting Jamal Hill by decision there, but absolutely crazy card. Daniel Marcos looked really good. I was able to land some good body shots and finish off Simon Oliveira. Damn good card. Yeah, it's a good one to open up for sure. But Daniel Marcos was able to finish Simon Oliveira. Like I said, I think Simon Oliveira threw a bunch of spinning back, like 10, at least 10 spinning back fists. And again, I think he just throws a lot. I thought that Daniel Marcos was very precise and had a very good purpose for every shot that he threw. I like the two Brazilian bros. Yeah, the Bonfim brothers. Daniel Marcos had a really good purpose for every shot that he threw, and he's pretty technical with it. So that's why I thought he would win. It was a little worrying at the beginning of the fight, but he was able to come back and win by a KO. Good win for him. Let's move on up the card. Josiane Nunes versus Zara Farron. I was a little worried about this one, but I am a little surprised Josiane Nunes won this fight. I think it was a super close. I definitely could have seen Zara Farron winning that fight. From what I gathered, this was this a... Oh, it was a 3-round unanimous. I think the third round, if I'm remembering correctly, I may be wrong, but the third round was super close in this, or the third round, Josiane Nunes won. I think the second round she won also. I don't know. I don't remember anything about that fight, honestly, but Josiane Nunes won. I remember it was a super close fight. I thought Zara Farron probably could have gotten the decision, and it probably should have most likely been given to her. But good win for Josiane Nunes, I guess. The dude that beat McKinney can probably beat Rafael Fiziev. Yeah, we'll see. You probably got to work him up a little bit, but he looked pretty damn impressive for sure. I was really excited. Bonfim brothers are legit. We had Warlley Alves versus Nicholas Dalby. This fight was pretty interesting also. Warlley Alves landed some pretty good shots early on in this fight. But after that, Dalby kind of took over. Was landing some really good shots towards the end of the second, or not towards the end of the second, but towards the end of the fight in general in the second and third round. And did really good there. So good win for Nicholas Dalby. There's nothing to really take away from this fight. I'm just going to be honest. It's a decision win for Nicholas Dalby. Got it right. Let's move on. This recap's probably going to be really, really boring. Unless there's like... The earlier parts are probably going to be pretty boring, but later ones are probably going to be better. Let's get right into it. Ismael Bonfim versus Terrence McKinney. I guess so far it's the #1 best knockout of the year of 2023. Absolutely brutal knockout. The thing with McKinney, like I said before this fight happened, this fight to me was for the UFC to tell whether or not who they're going to push. I think it's clear they're going to push Ismael Bonfim in that lightweight division. I think they're probably going to give him some really good matchups and get him those wins. I think Terrence McKinney, the UFC probably isn't going to give him as good of matchups as he's been getting. So we'll see Terrence McKinney definitely face some harder matchups now after he got KO'd. And after that kind of a KO, you got to imagine what that does to his chin and his health and his fighting career at this point. He's 28 years old, but a knockout like that definitely changes some things in your career. So really good win for Ismael Bonfim. Timed it perfectly. The thing with Terrence McKinney is he leaves himself really open. He overswings quite a bit, and he couldn't really get Ismael Bonfim down. Like Ismael Bonfim kept getting up or reversing position. So really good win for Ismael Bonfim. Was way better than I expected. He actually got like 3 decisions in his last 3 fights. So it was a little questionable. Did fight some really tough competition in those 3 fights, but a super crazy KO against Terrence McKinney is really good too. So let's move on to the next fight. Cody Stamann versus Luan Lacerda. Another controversial decision, I guess. I saw some people saying Luan Lacerda won this fight. I thought that Stamann could have gotten round 1. After looking at the stats, it seemed like there was a way you could give Stamann round 1 also. I thought there was a point in that first round. Yeah, I like Cody Stamann also. Hopefully, I was a little worried when he lost 3 in a row, but hopefully he can rebound. For this fight, I thought Cody Stamann definitely got one. I don't know how to say it. I think he landed a really good shot in that first round, and I think he also outstruck Luan Lacerda also. Let me look up the UFC stats real quick. UFC 283. Significant strikes. Oh, this is not it. Where I popped it up somewhere. This is not going to be helpful. Well, let me look in this other tab. I had it pulled up. I think I closed it. Well, Cody Stamann, I believe, was out pointing him on significant strikes also. So it was a good win for Cody Stamann. It was a little close, a little closer than I would like, but good win for him. He kind of started to pull away after that first round. It was a pretty close first round, but I think Luan Lacerda got a good second from what I remember. And oh no, Luan Lacerda had a good third round. Let me look up some of these cards. I think he had a really good third round. UFC 283 scorecards. Because from what I remember, they gave Cody Stamann round 1 and 2 on that card. Where's that? Yeah, they gave Cody Stamann round 1 and 2. He had a really good second round, but he kind of slowed down a little bit in the third, and Luan Lacerda landed some good shots in that third round. But that first round was super close, so that's where the argument goes in for who won that fight. But I thought Cody Stamann did enough to win it, to edge it out barely, but I think you could probably argue either guy could have won that fight. We'll move on. We have Jailton Almeida versus Shamil Abdurakhimov. Again, Jailton Almeida is an absolute monster. He goes into the second round of this fight and finishes off Shamil. Jailton Almeida pretty much, 232 pounds, is picking up guys at the heavyweight limit and tossing them on the ground, which is absolutely insane. We saw him go in the second round for this fight and still looked pretty good there. His cardio held up. At the beginning of the first round, he did get hit pretty hard, and it kind of put him off. That fight was boring, yeah. Good thing it kind of ended a little early. At least he kind of just destroyed him the whole time. But before he took down Shamil in the first round, he kind of got, I don't want to say he got hurt, but he got hit with a pretty big shot and took it, and then took him down. I want to see more of, Teron says, I want to see more of Almeida stand up. I agree. I do want to see that also. I think he'll be in the top 15 now after beating Shamil Abdurakhimov, who was number 15 in that division. So we should be able to see Jailton Almeida in the top 15 soon, at least. If he doesn't get in there now, it will probably be in his next fight. But pretty big win there. Maybe you put him up against like a Dacus or something and just have him absolutely destroy them. But good win for Jailton Almeida, still dumping people that are way heavier than him. So very impressive. Gabriel Bonfim versus Munir Lazzez. The other Bonfim, Gabriel Bonfim, I think I don't even know. I guess you could say he looked a little bit more impressive than Ismail, even though Ismail pretty much outstruck Terrence McKinney and had like kneed him to oblivion. Gabriel Bonfim made quick work of Munir Lazzez. Was so fast in there, had really good range, and like he looked insanely good, especially for a 25-year-old. Super fast, super good range, and really good on the ground. Won by submission in the first round. Looked really good also doing it. So these guys are guys to watch. Gabriel Bonfim and Ismail Bonfim. Can't wait to keep watching them. I don't have much to say there. It looked very impressive. Mounted guillotine. Kind of like when he got the guillotine, he rolled backwards and got on it. So Thiago Moises versus Amel Quisel Costa. Thiago Moises looked way better on the stand-up this fight. Better than that Joel Alvarez fight. If he's gonna stay at heavyweight, he needs to put on more size, at least get to 245 pounds. He's too little for heavyweight. I'm talking Almeida, yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. I kind of want to see what his striking looks like and how much power he's got on the feet first. And I think if he's doing fine with the weight he's at, I mean, I don't know if it would necessarily be bad. If it's just straight muscle, then yeah, it could definitely be helpful against some of the bigger guys. But I think even with what Derek Lewis is losing weight, like who are the real big guys up at the top of the division? Like you have John Jones, who's probably 250. So yeah, he's a bigger dude. Stipe's at like 252, I think also. Who else is in the top? Gane is a pretty big dude, but he could probably ragdoll Gane, honestly. Even yeah, Lewis lost a lot of weight. I think he was probably the heaviest guy now, but now that Francis is gone, like there's no one really that like really big unless you're looking at like the Chris Barnetts of the division who are just insanely overweight. But yeah, well, I think Stipe actually gained weight since he's been off. I think I remember seeing I think in the Ariel interview, I think he said he was 250, right? I may be wrong, but for this fight, Thiago Moises looked really good on the feet, looked super improved. Yeah, Stipe is not the biggest heavyweight either, 100%. But he looked really good on the feet, looked really improved from his last couple fights, and was able to get Costa down after Costa stuffed a couple of his takedowns and looked really impressive, submitting him in the second round. So very good win for Moises in this fight, kind of rebounding after his Joel Alvarez fight. Let's move on. We have 15 fights on here, so I'm kind of just want to go through these. We got Gregory Rodriguez. Let's see. Gane isn't that big either. Yeah. Especially if he's bouncing around like that. He's probably not that big either, but he still gets, he's getting freaking out wrestled by Ngannou. So Ngannou doesn't necessarily have the best technical skills, and I think Almeida does have a lot of technical skills, and Almeida's definitely closer to 240 than a 263, the heavyweight limit. So I think he could probably ragdoll Gane pretty badly, but on the feet he'll probably get destroyed. But I think he could get him down for sure. For Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Pereira, I was super surprised at this one. I don't know what it was. I don't want to say Gregory Rodriguez was off, but when he got knocked out, it just felt really weird. Not that he did get knocked out, but it was, or not that the fact that he got knocked out. It was more like Bruno Pereira was like feinting a couple, like he missed his first shot, pulled back his left hand, and then missed another shot, and then landed the left as Gregory Rodriguez was like done staring at him trying to throw a punch. So it was a super weird knockout. He got put out immediately. Super impressive win for Bruno Pereira. He goes to 10-0 now. I don't know what happens with Gregory Rodriguez, but that's a really tough KO to have. So good win for Bruno Pereira. I think he's like what, a plus 255 underdog, so a pretty big underdog. Good win for him. Ihor Potieria versus Shogun Rua. Ihor Potieria wins this fight. Shogun Rua definitely had his moment at the beginning of the fight where he landed a couple good shots on Ihor, but Ihor Potieria pretty much just put him out after that. It was I thought he headbutted him when he put him out. He wasn't necessarily out cold, but before he finished him, I thought he headbutted him, but he landed a really good shot, really good, like I think it was a left hand, and put him down, and then just ground and pounded him out. It was so silent after that fight too. Like I don't think I've seen a crowd so silent. It didn't even feel like the fight was finished. But yeah, it was really rough to see. Shogun Rua retired after that. Good for him. But decent win for Ihor Potieria after that. Let's see if I can say his name. Nikolai Ngumurianu fight. So good win for him. He's a very tough fighter and had a really interesting post-fight speech. So let's move on. To the main card, we have Johnny Walker versus Paul Craig. Kind of went how I thought it would go. Paul Craig goes for a takedown and just gets knocked out. He gets hit with a really clean punch. Johnny Walker just pretty much hammer fists him out cold after that. While Paul Craig is still holding onto his leg. So not much to say there. Good win for Johnny Walker. It seems like he's rebounding after a few bad losses. Back to back to back. Like he had the Corey Anderson, Nikita Krylov, Ryan Spann. He beat. Thiago Santos he lost, and then Jamal Hill he lost too. So he got a good win. He's been rebounding recently, 2 fights in a row. Good for him. Jessica Andrade versus Lauren Murphy. I don't know. I was kind of falling asleep during this one. I think I started yawning when you're like 13 fights in and you get this. 12 fights in and you get this fight. Jessica Andrade pretty much just destroyed Lauren Murphy the whole time. I'm not even sure if Lauren Murphy even threw more than but landed more than 20 punches in this fight. Jessica Andrade was just so explosive, had really good cardio, was able to stuff, I think, like all of Lauren Murphy's takedowns. So pretty impressive for her. Nothing to say there. It's pretty good card though, because of all the KOs and the energy and stuff. Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. Gilbert Burns, I was surprised. I was actually super surprised with Gilbert Burns wrestling in this fight, actually. He was able to pick up Neil Magny, which is a pretty tall and I would think big dude. He just picks him up and slams him on the ground and then submits him there. So it's very impressive for Neil Magny. We didn't see too much on the feet, but I guess you could say it was even on the feet before Neil Magny got taken down and submitted. So very good for Gilbert Burns. Called out Colby Covington after the fight. That should be the fight to make next. I don't know when you make that fight. Maybe under like a Conor card or something. But should be a super fun fight to watch. I think Colby would take that fight. I'm not even sure what they're going to do with Hamza. I think they might try and get Hamza for the next title in all honesty, because I don't know. Maybe the number 1 contender, I guess, or they're going to put him up against Bilal Muhammad, because I think they're having issues scheduling Colby because of his court case. I think before he can't fight until that's done. So I think going with Gilbert Burns is the right move there. Do Bilal Muhammad versus Khamzat Chimaev. I don't know, not like a fight night. You could probably do that on I don't even know. You can do that on a Conor card. There you go. But you do that fight and then get that your number 1 contender. Try and get Bilal Muhammad out of the top 5, because the UFC obviously does not want him fighting for a championship at all, which I don't blame them. He's kind of boring. And then you have Colby Covington versus Gilbert Burns, which should be a super fun fight, honestly. So let's move on to the co-main event. Doctor stoppage eye injury for Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno was pretty much winning this fight until the eye injury happened. It looked like for a second that it was an eye poke, but he pretty much just punched his eye with like his thumb. Like it landed directly, I guess right here. Like he landed directly like right here on the knuckle, right into the eye. So it was a very rough punch. Number 2 best MMA fight of the year for 2023. What the hell is Tapology doing? Oh god, I don't even know how to. What does this say? So it says best fight MMA fight of the year for 2023. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, I don't know why it says best MMA fight for 2023. I think that's ridiculous. But it was pretty much Brandon Moreno's show until it wasn't. I translated this dude's comment and I don't even know what that means. So I'm not going to even try. Brandon Moreno was pretty much beating Figueiredo until the decision happened, till the doctor stoppage happened. And nothing really to say, honestly. Brandon Moreno was pretty much landing some good stuff on the feet, better than Figueiredo. Was taking him down and controlling him on the ground. Figueiredo was doing quite a bit on his back, but I think Brandon Moreno did way more on the feet and then was able to take him down. I think they had it 2-1 for Brandon Moreno before the injury, so Figgy definitely had a chance, but Brandon Moreno did a really good job in that fight. He definitely improved, and it's kind of a sucky way to end a quadrilogy, in all honesty. Your quadrilogy between these two dudes. And now Deiveson Figueiredo is moving up to the bantamweight division, so that's the way he goes out. So it's looking like Brandon Moreno versus Alexander Pantoja. That one should be a super fun fight, but we'll see who wins that. I think Pantoja's got a really solid chance in that matchup. So I don't know what happens with Deiveson Figueiredo. I don't know who they're going to match up in the bantamweight division either, but it was just a mess of a fight, in all honesty. The decision kind of left a bad taste with the whole quadrilogy, in all honesty. But for the main event, Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill, absolutely insane fight. I was actually super surprised that it went to 5 rounds. I thought for sure someone was going to get finished, but I said the same thing with the Yuri and Glover fight, and that one went to I guess it didn't go to a decision, went to the 5th round, huh? But I was super surprised this one went to 5 rounds. I thought for sure Jamal Hill would either finish Glover Teixeira, which he had a moment in there where he hit him with a pretty big head kick, even though he blocked it. Those head kicks, man, from Jamal Hill, they're super, super strong. He put everything in it. Landed really good on the guard and wobbled Glover Teixeira pretty badly. There's a point in the fight where Glover Teixeira was just getting beaten. He was fighting back, but he was on the ground, not knowing where he was and shooting for a single and double leg. It was very rough to watch, but Jamal Hill wins pretty much all 5 rounds. There was like a closer one, but then even I think it was like the 4th round is closer round. But Jamal Hill just destroyed him at the end of that round too. So Jamal Hill looked really good here. My guess is it's probably Jamal Hill versus Yuri Prochazka. But if Yuri isn't ready, but it looks like he is. It looks like his shoulder is like, I don't want to say healed up, but there's like no issues for him right now. He posted something on Instagram saying he's coming. So we'll see when they make that fight. I'll be super excited for Jamal Hill versus Glover Teixeira. Gets me excited for sure. And then you have Alex Pereira maybe coming up too. It depends on what they do there also. It could be Robert Whitaker versus Alex Pereira if Izzy can't fight. Or if they do that, what do you even call that for Izzy and Alex Pereira? The quadrilogy also, but the rematch in UFC and MMA. So, yeah, I think in a Yuri versus Jamal Hill fight, I think I would have to look at it a little bit closer, but I think I'd probably go. I want to go Yuri, but I'd probably have to look more into it. In all honesty, I think without the takedown threat with Jamal Hill, I think he can probably do a little bit more. But Yuri is also very wild, so I'd probably have to look more into that. But super entertaining fight. Jamal Hill looked great in this matchup. The cardio was a little iffy at certain points, but he definitely made it through. So good for him. Good win for Jamal Hill, the first ever Contender Series fighter to win a UFC championship. So great there. I actually didn't think it was going to be Jamal. I thought for sure it was going to be like a Sean O'Malley or something. I thought they would make sure it would be a Sean O'Malley, but Jamal Hill, very good fighter. Showed some really good takedown defense too. He had some like really good takedown defense, especially early on in the fight. He was getting underhooks immediately, like more of a Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis takedown defense that we've seen them have, where they just pick him up and just move him like insanely quick, like not even getting close to getting taken down. So very good win for Jamal Hill. Let's just quickly recap this matchup. We have Jamal Hill, and Glover Teixeira retired too. So he said he's going to be focusing on Alex Pereira, and he says when he moves up to light heavyweight and everything. So we know light heavyweight is Alex Pereira bound, and we'll see what happens at middleweight. But Jamal Hill beats Glover Teixeira. Brandon Moreno. We have 2 new champs, Jamal Hill and Brandon Moreno. We'll see what happens within the next card. Tomorrow, the plan is to release a Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje early breakdown, but It could be Makhachev Volkanovski, but I'd be very sure. I am very sure that I'm probably going to do Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. So hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I'm kind of pooped out right now. I'm absolutely tired from the Fight Companion. Like 7.5 hours, 15 fights. Please don't ever do that again. 15 fights were absolutely brutal. I was like falling asleep, especially when you give us Jessica Andrade versus Lauren Murphy for the 12th fight. I wanted to go to bed at that point. It was just so boring, but pretty good card all around. Lots of fights. Very, very fun early fights. There was a lot of stuff going on, so those weren't very boring at all. And lots of prospects on this card too. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I tried to do my best here, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Early prediction for Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje.